I'm real bad to mix up stories and songs and songs and stories. And one of my favorite stories and songs is something I didn't write at all. I just happened to find this little tidbit out. There was a gentleman, and I'm sorry, and all the birthday hoopla, my mind went, and I forgot his name. Somebody in here knows it, maybe they'll tell you at the end of the program. But he got to entertaining his son's young girlfriend from next door. They were about 5 maybe. And it was very important to him to entertain this young lady because she was very ill. And so he would create a story for her. He created a story in which there was a young girl who was the main character, and she had a little puppy and got transposed to this new land and met strange characters that became friends with her, and very powerful people and scary people, and she was enthralled. And while she was listening to the story, she wasn't sick. But one day she said, "What's the name of this land?" It doesn't matter how long you've been telling stories or how smart you think you are. Once in a while somebody will ask you a question and there's no answer in the top of your head. So he turned around to try to come up with the answer. And if I do that, I try to stare at a blank wall, or I will meet somebody like Carol and Melissa, and I will just stare at them, which makes them uncomfortable, but doesn't bother me because I'm not really looking at them, trying to think fast enough. And he turned around to stare into nothingness to figure out an answer for this young lady, and there was a 2-drawer filing cabinet sitting there. The top drawer, they were both labeled. The top drawer was labeled A to N. The bottom drawer was labeled O to Z, the land of Oz. And that is where that story came from, because of a sick young girl. And this piece of music in it has always been one of my favorites. I will not sing this. I will play a little bit of it for you just because it's so beautiful. But that's what it makes me think of. That's pretty music. I don't care how you play it. This song I wrote for my daughter, sitting up here on the floor. My daughter is a senior at Appalachian. Yes. And by the grace of God, she'll graduate in May. Okay. I have CDs back there. Okay, I'll plug. My newest CD, she did the recording for me. And it very quickly got past being a labor of love. It was a labor of intense aggravation, of sitting there gritting her teeth, going, I can't believe my daddy's making me do this again. And the funny thing is, the one song that caused the most trouble was hers. I have written a piece of music I can't play. Of course, I helped give birth to a daughter I can't do anything with either. That's right. I love you, dear. So anyhow, I'm going to try this. It's got a gimmick or two in it, but if I suddenly quit and back up from the microphone, you just imagine whatever cuss words you want to, and they'll be right, okay?
This has been a Taylorsville Times presentation.